Hey guys, Shasta here. Happy Valentine's Day and congratulations, Sana, on your marriage. I wanted to follow up on an item that we discussed earlier about where we were with the level 2 data project. So for those of you that I haven't had a chance to have conversations with, let me wrap it up for you in a nutshell and then tell you next steps. I started speaking with Mark and Justin and team to discuss some of the gaps that we have around the way that we assess our participants when in the classroom. So Mark and I joined efforts and decided to embark on trying to figure out how we can streamline all teams into one process. I reached out to Keith, Sonia, and MJ. I need to touch base with you, but essentially what I wanted to do was collect items such as what system do you use to test, what day do you complete the testing, is there a retest policy, and so on and so forth. And you can find that information attached in the document. What we discovered is exactly what we suspected, which is we all do things pretty differently. So now that we've got everything documented, what are the items that we could streamline on? So in the attached document, you will find the data that we have for our new hire program, as well as the data that we collect for our continued education programs. But on slide 3, you're actually going to find immediate opportunities that we can begin to implement. For example, my first suggestion would be to implement a standardized creation or update process for any assessments. So for example, my first suggestion is going to be to set a timeline around creating or updating the assessment. So I'll be the first one to admit that oftentimes I get down to the wire and I find myself completing and rushing to get a completed assessment input into, at this time, we were using an old LMS system just to make sure that it was checked off of the list. We realize that when this happens, opportunities are missed, quality questions are not created, and then I often put a burden on the instructional design team. So after talking to some SMEs, I decided to outline a parameter for us to review for a timeline around creating or updating these assessments. My second suggestion is to actually streamline all assessments to be placed in First Data University. So I realized that my team was using an old LMS system from our CCO partner. Sales is using First Data University, and it looks like in some cases the SurveyMonkey is also being used. And the last immediate opportunity that I see is for all of us to streamline our passing test score. So it looks like the majority of the teams were using 80% as a passing score, whereas my team had been using 85% for the last year or so. So the easiest thing to do for us to become universal is to streamline our 80% benchmark. In the deck, you'll also find a list of future opportunities that I've identified, such as creating a pre and post assessment and implementing a retesting policy. I propose that we repurpose next Wednesday's management call so we can discuss how we can get back on track with this project. I do have some items outlined on slide 5 of talking points on how we can begin to lift this program off the ground, document any process changes, and then communicate those to our teams. So thanks for checking out my video message tonight. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a good evening. Look forward to chatting with you soon.